Who? Hello, YouTube. It's Hoots. Now you may be wondering, Hoots, where are the videos? What have you been doing all this time? Well, other than kicking up my little hoot foots over the roaring fire of VR chat fish, which literally, considering the rest of VR chat, this is probably the most safe haven place I can be right now. So you may be wondering, Hoots, what do you do in such a beautiful utopia? Well, you see, here is the bounties, where I look at the latest fish. I have to turn this one and that one. Catch different fish, and it lets you get money. Ooh! But nothing beats casting the old rune steel into the water and grabbing a bite. You know what I'm saying, Hoots? You know what this reminds me of? King of the Hill. And crack. Well, that's the subject of today's episode. King of the Hill, Season 2, Episode 5. Jumpin, Crack Bass. Where Hank gets the fishing bug. But alas, the fishing bug doesn't take to Hank. But after a misunderstanding, Hank uses a different kind of bait and starts catching fish left and right. But when Hank ends up on the wrong side of the law, he has to make his case that the bait he was using was actually used to catch fish. But will it be too late? I don't know about you, but I'm ready to cast my line in and get to talking about King of the Hill Season 2, Episode 5, Jumpin' Crack Bass. We see Hank and Bobby digging up some good old hand-dug American worms under the warm glow of flashlights with red covers as to not scare them away. For the uninitiated, worms can't sense red light like they do with bright lights. They may not have eyes, but they have sensitive cells on their bodies that set off survival instincts when in contact with bright light or blue light. But since red light are on a higher wavelength, they can't see it. As Hank tells Bobby why he loves fishing, some dirtball tries to hotwire his truck, and Hank yanks him out and should have smacked the greaseball up some before the cops hauled him off. But luckily, Hank doesn't have to, as the judge gives him a punishment deserving of a greaseball. The judge sentences the failure of a truck jacker to 3 months of living in a cab of an import truck. Finally, some real justice. Let's see him try to carjack another truck after spending 3 months in a cab of an import truck, which I tried to look up what kind of truck that is, and most searches lead me to this Japanese mini truck. I don't know if this is the truck he's referring to, but if it is, good. So now that justice has been done, Hank goes and retrieves his truck from impound in pieces.
Oh my God, what did you do to my truck?
Let's see, the thief was inside your vehicle, so under the law, we had to check for drugs.
He was in my front seat. He didn't hide any drugs in my spark plugs.
Well, we know that now, Mr. Hill.
Yeah, I don't like how they just dismantle his truck and not reassemble it before Hank picks it up. Like, what incompetent idiots are you people? You don't just, well, we don't know, Mr. Hill, and hands him the keys and walk away. You're lucky Hank has an adorable car expert like early seasons Luann that can get the truck back together in no time. Shut! Haven't said that in a while. Hank is looking for his fishing shears. And man, look how adorable Luann looks in her mechanic outfit. I think. I really wish they would have kept Luann the same in later seasons, but they made her more ditzy and, well, blonde. But that's not important. We gotta get back to Hank driving his purple Megalo rental minicar to fish with the boys. Apparently it's a Geo Metro, if the Google search is correct, but it's Google, so who knows. What car do you Hooties think it was? Also, you gotta love the irony that Mr. Twiggy's car was a Geo and Hank dented it. So this might be some hidden karma. Now that Hank is out on the lake, Hank can enjoy some nice, tranquil fishing. Sitting on the lake, taking in the splendor of nature with the boys, and use their cheater bait, and everyone but Hank catches fish.
Hank calls it cheater bait, but I call it scrumdilly garlicicious. Ow. And great.
Poor Hank, fishing in the past. Now I haven't fished in years, unless you count VR fishing, which you shouldn't. But my go-to was always a good old American worm. I mostly caught bluegill, but still. Poor Hank is fishing against the boys' garlic-scented lures and electric lures and whatever lure Bill was using. You know, I wonder what lure he was using. Maybe something Cajun-related, like, I don't know, maybe a gumbo bobber, or some kind of gator-shaped lure. Another question for you hooties in the comments. Hank heads down to lay away Ray's bait and tackle for some bait, but it seems that Ray's going trout of business, which we'll see where Ray ended up working at in Propane Boom Part 1. A nice bit of continuity if you ask me. Hank is so wrapped up in finding some good bait, that is the worm, that he doesn't see Ray cleaning the store with, yeah, he's gonna pull a Gus from Breaking Bad. But for the insurance, and not to maintain Nacho Vargas' cover as a trusted insider within the Salamanca cartel. But anyways, Ray lets Hank know about a man named Jack that wrote the book on homemade bait.
Of course, just a bunch of scribbles because he never went to school.
Seriously, how did he not catch Ray pouring lighter fluid on the floor, or even smell it? Then again, no, I don't think I can say that. Hank should have seen that, or heard the building explode. But I guess Hank is too concerned with getting some fishing bait to show up the boys, and that leads him to the address Roy told him before his unfortunate store accident that was completely out of his control. As Hank drives through the sketchy 6th and Woodmount looking for Jack, when he finds someone making shady transactions and calls him over, thinking him to be the fabled Jack Roy was talking about, and asks about buying some bait, and gets 3 bottles for $20? Now, I may not be as versed in selling bait as these business moguls over here, but I think Hank got himself a killer deal with the amount he got for just $20. Just as Hank drives off with the bait, we see what looks like the actual Jack in his truck. It even has a sign on the side. I mean, it's misspelled. He is illiterate after all, but because, well, you know.
I ain't got no learning.
So if that was the real Jack, then who did Hank buy bait from? And what did Hank buy? I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, look at how many fish the boys are catching with the bait. But it seems that the fish want more, practically leaping in the boat, filling out a nice photo book, not even sleeping, before rushing back to fish. And the signs of addiction show. Fishing addiction. I think it's an interesting way to show addiction in Hank with fishing, always getting up and going to fish literally after getting home, only to get back out, not even after a minute of being back. Heck, he was about to weed whack Dale for trying to take his bait. Now, to be fair, he was breaking into his garage to steal the bait, which is another good parallel to addiction, but with bait, can't imagine why this seemingly innocent yet fish magnet bait would cause the kind of discourse amongst Rainy Street residents. But unfortunately, it seems the fish don't want it no more, and Dale suggests that Hank get something stronger. And that leads him back to Jack.
Freeze! Hands where I can see 'em!
Want to express your Hoot fan with your fam and cheese and friends? Come on down to Hoot Shop, the one-stop shop for all things Hoot in the Dark, where you can get the exclusive Hoot in the Dark shirt, also in hoodie variety. You can also get the Hoot in the Bag organic tote bag, and Sippin' Like a Hoot mug. Check out the backside. We also have mouse pads and the Hoot in the Dark sticker. So come on down to Hoot Shop and get your Hoot in the Dark merch today. And now, back to the video. So wait, you're telling me that Hank wasn't using fishing bait? Then what was he using?
This is crack.
Crack? Oh no! Well, yeah, of course it was. I mean, even those of you Hooties that haven't seen this episode before this review, which I'm not mad, just disappointed. Even you Hooties probably could see that that was in fact crack. But Hank would never do crack. I'm sure he can make his case and the judge will have to let him get and Dale go. Yeah, Dale followed Hank, not knowing they were using the rock cocaine for fishing, and wouldn't you know it, the judge overseeing this case was the same judge that dealt with Hank's would-be truck thief. Dale tries to make some sovereign citizen crap and gets gagged, which is hilarious when Dale does it. I can't imagine how he can smoke like that, let alone breathe, but let's not dwell on this. Trust me, I spent sleepless nights wondering how he can breathe fresh air, or if Dale even breathes fresh air with the smoking and poisonous gases he's inhaled on the daily. Anyways, the trial. Hank makes his case that he only used the illegal substances was for fishing, and quite successfully, he might add. And the judge tells him that if he can't catch a fish with crack, he and Dale will spend the next 2 years in jail. Hank and Dale really have a difficult task ahead of them. How are they going to catch a fish when the crack isn't working on the fish anymore? This is getting intense. I wonder what the next trial is.
Fidelity Mutual Insurance versus Layaway Ray's Bait Shop.
Oh well, you know what they say. You play with fire, you get caught for attempting insurance fraud. Now, I don't know if he spent hard time behind bars, or if he was let off easy. He probably had to live in the burnt down bait shop for a while, or maybe just probation. Either way, we say Ray again in Propane Boom, working in the sporting goods department. Ironically, another store that went up in flames. This time not caused by him, though. Or was it? Nah. Unfortunately, after 6 hours of trying to catch a fish with the forbidden rock candy, Dale goes for his Hail Mary of an idea.
I think I got one.
Hold on to her, Dale. Don't let her go. Oh, thank you, Lord.
I caught it. That's my position.
I mean, leave it to Dale to use a frozen fish. But alas, if they don't catch a fish, then they're going to the Stony Lonesome for 2 years. Now, this is the second season, so Nancy will be okay while Dale is gone, you know. Jahan Redcorn. But in the case of Hank, Peggy isn't going to be able to pay the bills with her substitute job. And there's Bill. The point is, how's Hank going to catch the fish that'll prove his innocence? Hank runs out of crack. A wild sentence to say about Hank Hill, but by a miracle, he sees the last hand-dug American worm and uses it. Even after Dale begs him not to, Hank says he's gonna fish one more time, as he takes in nature for possibly the last time, when he gets a bite, catching a small fish.
She ain't pretty, but she's a bass, all right. You're free to go.
She's the most beautiful fish I ever caught, I tell you what.
Hold her up, Hank. She's a wall hanger. He.
And with that, the true hero was indeed the hand dog American worms, saving Hank from jail time. And funny enough, I think Hank introducing the crack in the water and the fish losing interest in said crack was what got them to go back to the worm once again. Or Hank was just really lucky. Any hoot, that was King of the Hill, Season 2, Episode 5, Jumpin' Crack Bass. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of the episode and the review in the comments. And what would you have done if the miracle bait you used to catch fish left and right was actually drugs, and you had to prove your innocence? As always, your feedback and opinions mean a lot, and I can't thank you all enough for all of your support, old and new hooties. Like this video, share with your fam and cheese, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe today and join the Parliament of Hoots. If you need me, I'll be having some VR fishing, where I won't be unknowingly using crack rock to catch fish, mainly because the fish don't use bait. Until then, I'll see you when you visit the Owlery again, and I give my hoot in the dark. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, share with your fams, and hype if that's even a thing that's possible for my videos. I don't know what that's about. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe today and join the Parliament of Hoots. Don't forget to check out my other social medias like Twitter and Instagram and even Twitch, even though I'm hardly ever on there anymore, and my PlayStation Network account. Also, check out those videos down there. It'll take you to more of my content. And until then, I'll see you when you visit the Owlery again, and I give my hoot in the dark.